for the first time, we are studying this a short course on iTax. So far, we've done PIN registration for individual, and today we are doing individual taxes. This is a case for an individual who does not have income, This is a case for an individual who does not have income. So for individuals who don't have income, for individuals who did not earn any income in the year 2022, you are required to file a nil return. You should file a nil return even if you did not earn any income with regards to a given period. Now, for you to be able to know which incomes this taxpayer has filed, you come to this module called returns. Now, in returns, you can either file return, you can file amended return, you can view file returns. So this is my first area of interest. I want to see which returns has this taxpayer filed. So I will click on view file returns. When I click on view file returns, I hope those of you have logged on your side, you're able to see the same thing I'm seeing. So when I click on view file returns, I will go to tax obligation. Do you see this part called tax obligation? I will click on that tax obligation. And my main interest is this obligation called income tax resident individual, because it's the default obligation for each and every individual. If you are residing in Kenya, income tax resident individual. If you don't reside in Kenya and you are a Kenyan, then you file income tax non-resident. But if you are residing in Kenya, then income tax resident individual. I will click on it. Then I come down here and select the period I want to view. Maybe I want to view because iTax began in the year 2013. So I will come and put here 1st January 2013 and come here and put 31 December 2022, because that is up to the current year. 2023 hatujamaliza hiyo, tutaongea tukishavuka to next year. So I will come and click consult. And when I click consult, I want you to see up there, the system is asking me, do you want to view returns? That is what the system is asking me. I hope we are together. Are we together? Let me confirm if we are together, first of all. Let me confirm if we are together. Let me confirm that we are together. Are we together? Are we together, dear class? Are you following this? So I can be able to see which returns has this person filed. The moment I click yes, look at what comes up. What comes up is that the person has only filed up to. The person has only filed one return since 2013, and that is the return for the year 2021, 1st of January 2021 to 31st of December 2021. That's the only return the person has ever filed. Then I come and ask myself, how comes only one return has ever been filed? And I can categorically also see here that the person has not filed the return for which year? For which year is missing? Which year is missing? Which year is missing? Which year has the person not filed? Which year has the person not filed? Which year has the person not filed? Somebody talk to me in the chat box. Osman. 2023 tutafile next year. Hata income yake hatujamaliza ku-earn. We are still earning it. Osman. We are still earning the year 2023 returns. So sahi employers wana file pay. Sisi tutakuja kufile next year wakishamaliza. So the year 2022 has not been filed. Then hizo miaka zingine zote hajafile. Hizo 2021 and prior kwenda nyuma hajafile. So haimaanisha tu huyu mtu hakuwa na file, hapana. It could be possible this person only registered as a taxpayer, from the beginning of the year 2021. Haimaanishi hizo mwaka zingine alikuwa anapata income lakini hakuwa anafanya nini, hakuwa na file, hapana. It could be that this person is a newly registered what? This person is a newly registered taxpayer, and we will confirm that. I'll show you how to actually confirm when the person registered as a taxpayer. So let's see. If you want to see what this person filed in the year 2021, you come to this place called view. Do you see this place called view? Are you able to see this place called view? You click on it. When you click on it, what comes up? Let's see. Let's see. Are you able to see what comes up? This is what comes up. You are told this is basically a nil what? This is basically a nil return. This was a nil return. The person filed a nil. Yes. Details of the sections are not available as the return you are trying to view is a nil return, meaning the person did not earn any income in the year 2021. So that's why the person filed what? A nil return. If you want to know why the person started filing from the year 2021 and not year 2020 and not the year 2020 kurudi nyuma, you simply come here to this button of registration, which I'll still handle later on. And when you come to the button of registration, you simply do what we call reprint PIN certificate. Unaona hii PIN certificate, imeandikwa PIN certificate. Reprint PIN what? Certificate. Watu wengine wanaulizanga, if I want my KRA PIN ile physical document natoa wapi? Simply log into your iTax, go to registration button, then you go to reprint PIN what? PIN certificate. You click on reprint PIN certificate. Hata yako unaweza fanya sahi, there's no harm. Go to reprint PIN certificate, go to registration, then click on reprint what? Click on reprint PIN certificate. When you click on it, then it will open for you this window. Then go to applicant type and select taxpayer. When you select taxpayer, then click submit. When you click submit, you will be able to get a copy of your PIN certificate, which is coming here, and you are being told PIN certificate has been generated successfully. When you click here to download, what comes up? Ndio hii ina download hapa chini. Then you double click on it, you will be able to get your PIN certificate should it be needed anywhere. Utapata your PIN what? Your PIN certificate. And the key interesting area ni hapa chini mali imeandikwa tax obligation. Are you able to see this part? The person registered for income tax resident individual obligation to be effective from which year? To be effective from 1st of January 2021. Na ndio ile return tumeona amefile. True or false? Are you able to see that? Are you able to see that? Are you able to see that? So this person, you cannot query this person. You cannot ask this person for the what? For the prior returns, because the person registered as a taxpayer, and he registered as a taxpayer, and this obligation was to become effective from the 1st of January 2021. I hope you can see that. Are you okay up to there? Have you been able to see that? Have I been able to answer the question why the person has not filed the previous returns? It all depends on when did the obligation become effective. Are we together? Are we together? It all depends on when the obligation became effective. You cannot ask somebody for returns za kitambo if the obligation became effective from this date. Unless it is a case of tax fraud, it's a case of tax audit, then this obligation of income tax resident individual can be backdated to later date so that the files returns are nyuma where there's a suspected tax what? A suspected tax fraud. Now that we've known that, na return tukiangalia return ya 2021, huyu mtu hakukuwa na return yote, so hakukuwa na any income, so the person filed a what? A nil what? The person filed a nil return. So how will we know that the year 2022 the person did not earn any what? Did not earn any employment income? Simply come here to the ledger. Kuja hapa to my ledger. Naona hapa kwa imeandikwa my ledger. Kuja hapa to my ledger and click on here katikati. Hii imeandikwa general ledger report. I want you to see this clearly. Click on this one called general ledger report. See, imeandikwa general ledger peke yake hapana. Go to general ledger report and click on it so that you can view, are there any pay credits? You know, pay inalipwa na employer. So employer akilipa, credit inaenda direct to the iTax account ya employee. So we want to check if there's any pay credit in the ledger of this taxpayer from any employer at all before we file a nil return. So kuja hapa, ikishafungua hivi, go to tax head, select income tax resident, look for it where it is. Income tax resident, do you see it anywhere? It's the first one here. Then click show ledger. When you click on show ledger, unapata ya kwamba huyu mtu ledger iko wazi. The ledger is blank. The ledger has nothing. So that is actually one of the main point, or one of the indicator that this person did not earn any employment income, in the year 2022. So the person had zero employment income in the year 2022. But there are certain instances where the person might have actually had pay credits, employment income, only that the employer did not remit. So in that case, you don't expect to get any pay credit in the ledger of this taxpayer. So this is a case of a person who does not have employment income. How do you file their return? Go to returns, then go to file nil return, go to returns, then sema file nil return. Kisha sema file nil return, then itakufungulia hii window ya kufile nil return. Then select the tax obligation. Make sure you know the obligation you are filing. We have here income tax resident. If the person is a resident, if the person is residing in Kenya, you know those concepts of resident and non-resident. Non-resident, if the person in that year of income 2022, the person was not in Kenya for a period of how many days? You know that you should be reminding me in the chat box. Then income tax rental income. Hii ni kama uko na nyumba zenye watu wanaishi, tenants wako na wanakulipa nini? Wanakulipa rental income, wanakulipa rental income. So it is a monthly tax. It's not an annual tax. So come and select income tax, resident individual. Select this. When you select this, then click next. I hope you are following. Click next. When you click next, the system will auto-populate for you the period, the respective period which you are supposed to file, because the system is very intelligent. It can tell ile mwaka ulifile last ilikuwa mwaka gani. So this one, it will automatically auto-populate for you. So once it has auto-populated like this, your work is just to submit. As easy as that. Your work is just to submit. So can you submit this? Click submit. When you click on submit, let's see what happens. Hapo juu, the system bado itakuprompt. Are you sure you want to file a nil return? Are you sure you want to file a nil return? You didn't have any income at all in that year. Then you click OK. When you click OK, see what happens when you click OK. Click OK, see what happens. Hapa chini unaambiwa aje. Return submitted successfully with acknowledgement number. KRA 2023, hivyo mpaka 88. Then you can download the return receipt. So when you download the return receipt, let's see how the return receipt looks like. This is the return receipt. The return receipt is actually a nil. Ukiangalia vizuri unaona kila kitu. Wife's PIN ni kama unataka kufailia mpaka bibi Kiprotich. Mutaki bibi ya file kwake, unataka kumfailia return zake. So unaona kama huyu hakuna income yoyote alian. So you see everything here is zero. Employment income is zero. No tax on zero income. Kila kitu hapa ni zero. Hata tax due ni zero. So how do you confirm? This is the receipt to show that you filed your return for the year from January to December, the year 2020 what? The year 2022. I hope you can see this. I hope you're able to see this. So how do you confirm again that the return has been filed? If you want to confirm that the return has been filed, simply go to returns. Sema hapa view file returns. Sa ile ilikuwa 2021 peke yake. So come and select here, resident individual, income tax resident individual. Come and put the periods. But even if you don't put the period in some cases, once you've selected the tax obligation here, just say consult. The system is very intelligent. Itakuletea returns zote umai file under income tax resident. So just say consult and say okay. Unaona sasa ziko mbili. Do you see now we have the year 2022? You can see. Can you see now we have the year 2022 return here? Are you able to see this? Are you able to see this? You can see this from your side. Can you see this? You can see this is now filed. You can see, right? You can be able to see this. Yes, you can be able to see this. Ile time tulikuwa tuna return moja 2021, lakini sasa kuna hii ya 2022. You can see this. It is now filed, right? It's now filed. It's now filed. This is how you confirm a return has been filed. Now, can we try and attempt to put the one for year 2023? Somebody was saying, this is how you filed a nil return, by the way, Abraham. This is how you file a nil. Why do you go to a cyber to file a nil return? Okay, you need to give, they also need to earn a living, but nil return, surely. Nil return, surely, nil return. Now, if you attempt to file the return for 2023, acha tujaribu tuone. Nyinyi watu, you think this system is just a system. It's a very intelligent system. So click next. Acha tujaribu ya 2023. Unaona vile nasema hapo juu? Can you see? Can you see how it is saying up there? Can you see how it is saying up there? Are you seeing how it is saying up there? Return for the period 1st of January 2023 to 31st of December 2023 can be filed after December 20 what? After December 2023. After December 2023. Kumaanisha huyu mtu amemaliza na hii maneno ya tax return filing hivi mpaka next year, between January and June next year, data file return in 2023. Is that one okay? Are you good with the nil return? Can we go to one where somebody has income? Can we go to one where somebody has income? Are you good with this? What if a person lost his KRA PIN and does not have iTax account and a retriever mpaka kufile? Lost your KRA PIN, call contact center ya KRA with your ID number. They will be able to give you instant your KRA PIN. If you need to change your email, because remember, if you kama umesahau mpaka password ya email ama umesahau mpaka your email, then your email has to be changed in the system. Is when you can reset your password. So call KRA with your ID number and also with the new email that you have. They will change for you instant, and you will be able to change your password for your iTax account. That's a kudanganya ati nini. Now, can we go to the one with the income now? Now, if you can go to the one with income, the better. Let's go to the one with income. Have you been able to open the documents I sent you? Do you have them with you? Do you have them with you? Do you have the ones I shared in the group with you? Do you have them? You have them with you? I want us to go to the most interesting part now. Do you have them with you? I hope you do have them with you. Where is it? iTax training. Where is it? I hope you have them with you. The documents I shared, I hope you do have them with you. I want us to move to the most interesting part now. Now, I shared this payslip. Let me sisitiza something on this payslip, because you people need to understand your payslip. Usiku unapata tu payslip na unasema tu kila kitu sawa. Please always be interrogating your payslip. Make sure you are able to interrogate your payslip. Try as much as possible to interrogate your what? Interrogate your payslip. Interrogate your payslip, right? Interrogate your payslip. Now, I shared this copy of payslip belonging to Janet Mungai. I shared it belonging to Janet Mungai. I shared this payslip with regards to Janet Mungai. There's a reason why I shared this. There's a reason why I shared this payslip, because I want you to understand a payslip. I want you to understand what we mean by a payslip. I want you to understand what we mean by a payslip. Now, we proceed. Do you have the P9 with you? Do you have the P9 form with you and a copy of the return? Do you have the P9 form with you and a copy of the return? Do you have the P9? Do you have the P9 form? Do you have the P9 form with you and a copy of the return? Do you have the P9 form with you and a copy of the return? Open the copy of the return. Open the copy of the return. Open the copy of the return. Oh, people don't have the P9 form or the return. People don't have the copy of the return here. Kama uko kwa iTax, if you have logged into your own iTax, then rahisi. Si mnajua kupata. You know how to get a copy of the return. It's the same. Hata kama si return yako tuna file is the same. You know how to get it, right? Let me see if somebody remembers how you get a copy of the return that we are populating. Let me see. Do you know how to get if you have already logged into your own iTax account? Yes. Let me see those who have logged into their own account, their own iTax account. Let me see if you have it. You know how to get it, but I will still show you here. I will still be able to show you here. I've shared the return again. I've shared the return again. Now, come here, navigate to returns, navigate to returns, then say file return. You are no longer filing nil return, apana. You're no longer filing nil return. You are filing a return because you have income. So click on it. When you click on it, select the tax obligation, which is income tax resident, then click next. Once you click next, of course, itakata, but you are able to download the return. So when you download the return, what happens? When you download the returns, open it, it will come as a zipped folder. It will come as a zipped folder. Ifungue, open it, then double click on the Excel sheet that is there. That is the return. That is the return document. So double click on that Excel sheet. Ungoje ifungue. This is for those who are actually accessing their iTax in real time. So ngoja ifungue, itakuwa hivi, kisha fungua it will look like this. It is something that looks like this. Then hapa sema enable editing hapa juu. Enable editing hapa, sema enable editing. Sema enable editing. Then most importantly again hapa macros have been disabled. So enable content again hapa. Hapa enable content hapa. Enable content for those of you who is bringing this, enable content. And you are good to go. Tuko hapo? Are we together up to there? Are we together up to there? Are we together? Are we together up to there? Are we together? I want to know whether we are together up to that point. Can we proceed now and populate this return? Are we able to proceed and populate this return? We are together? Okay, let's populate this return. Now, return has a number of sections. Iko na sections mingi. Return has a number of sections. Return has a number of sections. Now, this section, the first sheet, it has a number of sheets or sections. The first sheet, you key in your basic information. So the basic information we have here is for Janet. It's for Janet Mungai. Put the pin of Janet Mungai. Click here on personal identification number. That is row number 3. Click on it and put the password. Just put the password in caps. A0181 636 636 636 89Y. That is the pin for Janet. That's the pin for Janet Mungai. Then proceed to row number 4, type of return. In type of return, pick the first one, original. Original is when you are filing for the first time. Amended, you can only file once you had filed the original. You made a mistake in the original, so you are amending it. So in this case, we are filing original because it is the first time return. Then go to return period from, that is row number 5, return period from, and choose the period. We are filing from 1st of January 01/01/2022. Then to return period, that is up to the end of the year. Always be patient with it. Then now click return period to 31st of December 2022. Mpaka hapo. Tumefika mpaka hapo? Are we good up to there? Are we good up to there? Let me see in the chat box if we are good up to there. Are we okay? Are we okay up to that point? Are we okay up to that point? Let me see in the chat box if we are okay up to that point. Let me see if we are okay up to that point. Have you umefika hapo? Si tu kusema yes. You know, this one you can't watch. Please don't watch. Just let's do it practically. It's not good to watch. It's not advisable to watch. You cannot watch this. Yes, don't watch this. Let's do it practically in your computer as well. Let's do it practically in your computer as well. I hope you are together up to that point. I'm only saying, okay, fine. That's nice, Orenyo. You can even do yours now. As Orenyo is doing it, you can be able to do yours now as Orenyo is doing it. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Now, we are there. Are we together? Are we together, CNN? I can see we have CNN here. We have Kirote. Kirote, we are together. Are we together, Kirote? Are we together? Resh, you can see there's Resh here. Yes, we are together, Resh. Are we together? Esther Kot. Are these things making sense? I hope they are making sense. Abraham, I hope they are making sense. Now, let's go on. Now, at this point, ukiangalia hii kwa hii sheet ya basic information, if you look at this sheet on basic information, hapa chini unaulizwa, do you have any other income other than employment income? Hii sitaki kuingia saa hii bado. Next, do you have partnership income? I don't want to go to that now. Acha ibaki no for now. Do you have estate income? Kama babako maybe alikuachia, mama alikuachia some estate which is earning income, fine, but I don't want to go to that now. Has your employer provided you with a car? I don't want to go to that now. Do you have a mortgage? Yes, we do have a mortgage, but keep it, just keep it. Don't click on it, bado. Do you have home ownership savings plan? Keep that one. Do you have life insurance? Yes, we do have, but please still keep it. Do you have a commercial vehicle? No, I don't have. Keep it. Hizo zingine zote. Do you want to declare wife's income? Please, I want to file my own income. I don't want to declare wife's income. Keep the wife's income kando kwanza. Now, we go to sheet F. We go to sheet F. I want to see sheet F. Are you seeing sheet F? Can you see sheet F where it is? Are you able to see sheet F? Are you able to see sheet F? Click on it. And what do you see? Please put the pin of the employer. Are you seeing the pin of the employer? Are you seeing the pin of the employer? If somebody is not seeing the pin of the employer, seme. The pin of the employer, do you see it? Do you see the pin of the employer? Do you see the pin of the employer? Are you seeing the pin of the employer? Please put it. Please put it. Please put it with me. Please put it with me. Put the pin of the employer with me. Then, next, put the name of your employer. Put the name of the employer. Huyu Janet ameajiriwa na Maji Marefu. Just come and type Maji Marefu. Maji Marefu. Maji Marefu. Now, how much is the gross pay? How much is the gross pay? Are you seeing where the gross pay is in that P9 form? Are you seeing where the gross pay is in that P9 form? Are you able to see gross pay? Are you able to see gross pay? How much is it? Somebody just type in the chat box. How much is it? How much is it? Gross pay, you can find it in column D. You can find it in column D. You can see it. How much is it? How much is the amount? How much is the amount? How much is the amount? We have 3 million. Osman, tulitoka kwa payslip kitambo. Payslip was just to illustrate for you just for 1 month. Yes. So just to illustrate for you for 1 month. I hope you've understood, Osman. We are looking at the P9 form. Payslip was just an extract of January only. So 3,975, 975, 3,975, 362.15. That is the gross pay. You can see that. That's the gross pay. The person earned 3.9 million for the whole of those 12 months. That is from January all the way to December. Then allowances and benefits. Hizi hakuwa nayo, just put 0. Hakuwa nayo 0. Net value of housing, hajapewa nyumba na employer, put 0. Put 0. Where? Baraza. Baraza where? Where Baraza? I'm waiting on you. Baraza is saying he's lost. Baraza, you are lost where? Baraza, you are lost where? In which specific under employee details? Hapa tulishamaliza tukatoka. Which part, Baraza? Baraza, which part? Type chap kidogo. Employee income. That is what we are declaring in employment income sheet F. Employee income. The employment income that the person earned is what we are declaring in F. We are done with the basic information, just to declare tuna file return gani na ya mwaka gani na ni ya pin gani. Then hapa kwa sheet F ndio sasa tuna declare the total income which the person earned. We don't have, do we have employee income in basic information really? Na pin ya employee iko wapi? Pin ya employee iko kwa P9 form. Are you having the P9 form, Kiprotich? Are you having the P9 form? Are you having the P9 form with you, Kiprotich? Are you having the P9 form, Kiprotich? Are you able to see employer's pin hapo juu? Yenye inaanza na P na inaisha na R. You can see it. Okay. Kiprotich amenyamaza. How about Baraza? Baraza, I hope you are not lost now. Baraza? I'm waiting on Kiprotich as well. Tell me whether ameona pin ya employer. Oh, you are taking too long to type. See, okay. Baraza, you are fine? Okay. Now, we are in section F. Are we together up to this point? Up to this point on, oh, please don't hang. Now, net value of housing, put 0. Pension, did we have any pension in excess of 300,000? We didn't have. Haikufika hiyo pesa. It didn't. Haiwezi fika. Hata ukichukua hiyo nini? Ukichukua ile 9 times 12 sidhani nafika 300,000. So, hizo zingine unaweka 0 zote. Yes. So you reach the total employment income of this person is 3.9 billion. Are you okay up to there? Are you fine? Everybody, just let me know with a yes in the chat box. Are you okay? Because this is the only information you need in sheet F. This is the only information you need in sheet F. Peke yake. You only declare the total income, the gross income you earned from Majimarefu, whose pin is here. You declare the entire income yenye alipata hapa, as you can see here, 3.9. You declare the gross here. Hizi zingine kama hajapewa allowances, zingine unaweka 0. Kama hajapewa nyumba na employer weka to 0. Pension kama kuna yenye iko excess ya 300,000 weka 0, because you know pension contribution is only an allowable deduction up to a maximum of 300,000. Yes. Now, can we go to sheet M? Sheet M is where now you declare the details of the pay deducted. You declare the details of the pay that you are deducted. Now, can we go to sheet M? Now, sheet M is here. Sheet M is here. Now, pin of the employer will be auto-populated from the drop-down menu. From the drop-down menu, you can see here. Just click on the drop-down menu. Click on the drop-down menu and select the pin of the employer, because you had already keyed it in the other side. Then, put the name of the employer again, Majimarefu. Then, how much is our taxable salary from the P9 form? How much is our taxable salary from the P9 form? How much? How much is our taxable salary? How much is our taxable salary from the P9 form? Can you see it? It's in which column? It is in which column? How much is our taxable salary? Annabelle, how much is our taxable salary? It is in column H, right? You can be able to see it. Taxable salary and chargeable pay, they are more and more of the same. They are more and more of the same. They are one and the same thing. So how much is it? We have 3 million. We have 3 million. We have 3,603,517.90. That is the figure that we have as our taxable salary, or our chargeable pay. Now, the question that you ask yourself is, how did we move from, if you look at the same P9 form, how did we move from a gross pay of 3.9 to a taxable pay of 3.6? We moved from 3.9. 3.9 was the gross. Yes. Then remember, to go on pension, we have the pension contribution. Which is the lower of E1, E2, and E3. The lower there is 137. Remember that 137 is actually individual pension contribution plus NSSF for the whole year. That 137, I repeat again, the 137,657.60 is a combination of actual employee pension contribution plus NSSF plus NSSF for the whole year. So it is the lower of those three, because E1 is simply 30% of the 3.9 in column D. Then E3 is the legal limit as per the laws, which is 20,000 per month. So it comes to 240,000. This other one comes to 137,000. The 137,000 is actually a combination of actual contribution plus NSSF. Then the 119 is simply 30% of the 3.9. So the lower there is just that 137. So that 137 is the total pension contribution, plus you add it to this, you add it to column F, which is mortgage interest, The person contributed mortgage interest. Hii mortgage interest yote inakuja 23, 23, it comes to 234,186.65. You can see that on occupier interest is the same as mortgage interest. So zikiongezwa, if you add the 137, if you add the 137, 657 plus 234,186, you get 371,844. So the total amount that is deducted from the original 3.975362, the total amount we are deducting from the 3.9 is this figure in column G of 371,844. So that is how we are arriving at the 3.6. Kuna mtu akona swali hapo before I proceed? Is there somebody who have a question, or you can see it? Is it clear? I want you to be able to understand a P9 form. Si tu kuangalia. Understand how a P9 form work, please. Understand how a P9. Hata wewe unaweza elezea mtu. Kama huyu mtu angekuwa na mortgage, unaona? Kama huyu mtu angekuwa na mortgage, then column F ingekuwa 000 mpaka chini. 000 mpaka chini. Then chenye ingedidactiwa from the 3.9, in column D ingekuwa tu E 137 peke yake. It could have only been this 137 only. Even from this 137, you can tell how much is NSSF, right? You can tell how much is NSSF and how much is the individual pension contribution by simply taking because you know NSSF ni pesa ngapi? NSSF ni 1080 maximum. So 1080 times 12, that one gives you 12,960. Then if you less it from the 137, 657.60, then huyu mtu pension peke yake alicontribute 124,000, alicontribute 124,697, but sasa ikaongezwa na NSSF juu total pension tunachukua NSSF na ile yenye wewe mwenyewe una contribute towards a registered pension scheme. Mnaelewa? So kama huyu mtu angekuwa na mortgage, then column F, this what we call unoccupied interest, ingekuwa 000, meaning the only amount which could have been deducted from the 3.9 which was the gross pay ingekuwa 137 peke yake, but because hakuna mortgage, then tunachukua hiyo 137 tunaongeza na hii mortgage interest yote ya 234, so that we deduct a whole figure of 371 from the 3.9, so that we arrive at 3.6. Is it clear? Is it clear now, Esther? Is it clear? Is it clear? Do you understand that P9 form? Do you understand that P9 form well? Do you get to understand that P9 form? This is a typical complicated P9 form. Zingine rahisi hata zinanga hiyo column. Mingi hazinanga hiyo column F. Lakini kama uko na ni wapi uelewi Mary? Wapi uelewi Mary? Unajua vile hii return bado iko mbali. Column gani uelewi? Column gani? Which column? Column F ni mortgage interest. You know mortgage interest is an allowable deduction against gross pay. Eh? So you know mortgage interest. Column F ni mortgage interest. Unaona kama ile payslip ya kwanza ilikuwa 19,728. Si ndio hiyo inakimbia mpaka chini. Tungekuwa na payslip ya kila mwezi ingeongezeka mpaka hiyo 234. Ni vile sasa yeye mortgage interest ya alikuwa nalipa ilikuwa na it had some differences. Ndio maana inaenda mpaka 234 huko chini. Ile payslip ilikuwa na mortgage interest. Hiyo ndio tunaita unoccupied. They are the same thing. Tofauti ni nini? Okay. Now, you want me to bring my screen back. You want me to bring my screen back. Anybody else with a challenge in this area? You need to understand the P9 form. You need to understand our P9 form. You need to understand the P9 form. You need to understand a P9 form. Have you gone back to the return? Are you at the return? Are you at the return? Are you at the return? Okay, now you've gotten how taxable salary is actually sometimes just taxable pay, chargeable pay, taxable salary, they are one and the same thing. Now, how much is the tax payable? How much is the tax payable on this taxable salary? How much is it? How much is it, and which column do you find it? How much is the tax payable, and which column do you find it? How much is the tax payable? How much is the tax? The gross tax payable, sometimes we call it tax charge, sometimes we call it gross tax. It depends on your P9, how you generate your P9. Column J, right? How much is it? It's 1,015,393.80, right? Then, how much is the amount of tax deducted? In other words, how much is the pay deducted? 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 Where do you get that? Which column? Which column do you get that? How much is the pay? This is now the net pay. You get it in column L, Osman, which is 9. Yes, this person was deducted 593,000.80. And I want you to see what happens to column. I want you to see what happens in column C. I want you to see what happens in column C the moment I release this cursor from B. I want you to see what happens. I want you to see what happens. The relief will calculate itself automatically. See what happens. See what happens. Have you seen? Have you seen what has happened here? Have you seen what has happened here? You've managed to see what has happened there? Have you seen? You can see my screen well, right? You're able to see my screen? Are you able to see my screen well?
The screen.
You are able to see my screen. What about now?
Black.
What about now? You can see it.
You can see your screen. No.
But you can see it now, right? All right. Now, I want to repeat this again. Now, for the amount of tax, we said, for the amount of pay tax, we said we find it in column L. Now, when I put 9, 8, 6, 5, 93.80. I want you to see what happens in column C here. I want you to see what happens in column C here, this one which is grayed out. It will calculate itself automatically, and the difference is actually the relief, which is the personal relief. How much is the personal relief for the whole year? How much is personal relief for the whole year currently? How much is the personal relief for the whole year? Somebody type in the chat box. How much is the personal relief for the whole year? How much is it? How much is it? How much is personal relief? Now, let me release the cursor from B and see what happens. Is it the same amount? Yes. Column C will always calculate itself automatically. And in many cases, it's like the checker. Yule mwenye alikuwa na file na mimi, are we together or was it Orenyo? Are we, umefika mpaka hapo, Orenyo? Umefika mpaka hapo? Yes. Yes, there's somebody was filing with me, their return. Are we together up to there? I hope we are together up to there, Orenyo. I hope we are together up to there, Orenyo. I hope we are together up to there, Orenyo. So this one here is the personal relief for the whole year. How? It shouldn't be different. It should give you 28,800 unless kuna makosa umefanya hapa kwa taxable salary, tax payable, na amount of pay. Supposed to give you the, is it reading 28 in your P9 form? Is it reading 28,800 under personal relief, Orenyo? Is it reading 28,800 in the P9 form you have? It's not. It's not reading. It's reading how much, Orenyo? Again, how much is it reading? Because hapa ndinakwanga msemo ukweli. Ukifika hapa ikisoma hii uko sawa. 26,400. Wow. That's the amount imeleta hapa for in the actual return. Is it the amount imeleta hapa? For Feb is missing. Oh, okay. Then Feb iko na, but Feb okay. Feb ulikatwa pay. Were you deducted pay in February according to the P9? How much is the personal relief haiko kwa Feb? Okay. Let's proceed. Let's just proceed. I'll be able to check with you as we proceed. Now, ukishafika hapa ni kama maneno imeisha. I want you to see how you are finishing this return. I want you to see how you are finishing this return very easily. I want you to see how you are finishing this return very easily. Ukishafika hapa, maneno imeisha. Maneno imeisha. Ukifika hapa, maneno imeisha. Simply pass sheet Q. Pass this sheet. Is it Q or O? Pass this sheet here called IT payment credits. Pass this one. In many cases, you want to use it. I'll tell you when you are supposed to use it. Now, in many cases, you won't use it. Yes, and in many cases, not used. Yes, especially if you had paid some taxes in prior, then you will have to declare those taxes that you have paid in prior in this case. Now, move to T. What happens in T? T is very simple. In T, you only declare two things. You only declare two things. You only declare two things in T. You only have to declare only two things in T. One is the pension contribution. One is the total pension contribution. One is the total pension contribution. How much was it, if you remember? How much was the total pension contribution, if you remember? How much was the total pension contribution, if you remember? How much was it? How much was the total pension contribution, if you remember? How much was it? How much was the total pension contribution? Come and put it here. 137. 137. Uh-huh. Okay. Iwe umeongeza mpaka mortgage. Nasema pension peke yake. Pension peke yake. Tafadhali. Only pension. Naona umeongeza mpaka mortgage tayari. 137. Okay. Oh, nice. Iko sawa. I thought ulikuwa umeongeza 137, 657.60, right? Iko sawa hapo. That is the first thing you need to enter there. Then the other thing you need to enter here, and I want you to note the changes, what happens. Remember, currently, in this sheet of tax computation, it's a summary of everything you've been keying in the other side. So before I remove the cursor out of this row 5, which is pension contribution, I want you to see the total. I want you to see the total employment income. The total employment income here, it is 3.9. And the net taxable income here is still 3.9. When I remove the cursor, see what happens. Have you seen what has happened? Which place has changed? Which place has changed? Have you seen the place that has changed? Have you been able to see the changes, those who are filing with me? Have you been able to see the changes? The changes are in row number 14. They are in row number 14, yes? Row number 14, because the 3.9 is knocked off against pension contribution, which is an allowable deduction against the gross of 3.9. Ndio maana taxable income may reduce from 3.9 because of the 137 to 3.8. Then here, yes, here, I come and give what? I come and give the relief. In this row number 18, I come and give the relief so that, see what happens to row number 9 after I give the relief in row number 18. The total relief, it was 28,800. 28,800, right? 28,800, the total personal relief. See what happens to row number 9. Have you seen what happened to row number 9? Yes. The total tax payable has gone down up to 1 million and 59, up to 1 million and 59, up to 1 million and 59, up to 1 million and 59. Does somebody have a question up to that point? Does somebody have a question up to that point? Does somebody have a question up to that point? Now, this return is far from over because as you can see here, we have a tax due or a tax payable of 73,000. Why do you think we have that? Because we have not yet declared our mortgage. We have not yet declared our insurance relief. We have not yet declared our mortgage, and we've not yet declared. Ziko hapa. Amounts already submitted to the authority. Yes, amounts already taken to the authority. Hizo ziko kwa ledger tayari na zita balance. Unaona hapa imebalance. Can you see row 21 and 22? So unaona zimebalance. You can see zimebalance. Yes, you can see this one zimebalance, Mary, right? So this is all about pay. Row number 22 is about the pay. E986 linafaa ikuwe imepelekwa kwa the revenue authority. Kama revenue authority iko na kidogo ya E986 utakuwa na deni. You will have a debt. So you follow up with your employer and ask your employer, how comes authority have less than what you declared in my P9? P9 inaonyesha ulinikata pay ya 986, authority iko na 800. Wapi pay zingine? Umesikia, Mary? You've understood that, Mary? So up to this point, we are done. Up to this point, we are done with the normal employment. What? We are done with the normal employment income. We are done with the normal employment income. we are done with the normal employment income. The reason why we have this 73 is because we've not declared the mortgage. We are yet to declare the mortgage. We are yet to declare the mortgage. That is one reason why we have this 73. You can see down here. Yes, we've not declared the mortgage. Yes, and because here, the reason why we have not declared the mortgage, and here, taxable salary actually took care of actually was after factoring in. It was after factoring in the mortgage. It was after factoring in the mortgage interest. It was after factoring in the mortgage interest is when we arrived at this 3.6. Otherwise, tukitoa mortgage interest hatutakuwa na 73. So the system needs us to declare the mortgage details, which up to this point I think is okay. So next time when we meet, which I believe is tomorrow, we'll now go to the other details. Where we'll come here under basic information, row number 11, and answer this question. Do you have a mortgage? We'll say yes and declare the details of that mortgage. I sent you the mortgage certificate. Then you will come here to row number 13. Do you have life insurance policy? And I will say yes and declare the life. Because if you look at the P9, there's a column there written, insurance relief. Can you see that part written insurance relief, that 255 mpaka chini? You can see it in the P9 form. Can you see it in the P9 form? Can you be able to see it in the P9 form? Can you be able to see it in the P9 form? I hope so. I hope you can see it in the P9 form. Yes. So we'll come here and say we have a life insurance policy. So what I do with this, Oronyo, what is your final balance huko chini? Oronyo, let me see your final balance huko chini. So what I will do with this, I will basically come and save it. I will save it for Orenyo, inquire about that missing pay relief from your employer tomorrow. Then we proceed from there tomorrow. Now I've saved this so that we pick from this point tomorrow. Kuna mtu ako na swali? That somebody has a question. I hope you picked whatever we've done. Change imebaki hapa ni kidogo. Whatever we've done is the maximum. If you don't have relief, you don't have mortgage, you should be able to come here and say hapa inafaa ikuwe 00 or a negative or a positive of not above 100. If you don't have mortgage, you don't have interest, then you simply validate. Once you validate, then you go back to iTax. You go back to iTax here and choose a file, agree to terms, and submit. Hivyo tu na utakuwa umefile return. Kama hapa, if you don't have mortgage and you don't have insurance, na hapa imetokelezea 00 ama imetokelezea negative ama imetokelezea what? A positive figure which is less than 50, for example. And there you don't have, but mainly always counter check with this place. Section M is everything. Sheet M is everything. Sawa. Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay up to that point? Is it okay up to that point? Yeah, that's the end of filing for FOSIA. Kama una mortgage na una, it's the end of filing. Validate and upload. Validate and upload. Validate and upload. No, si lazima account kirote. We shall look at that tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you.